Hello, thriving friends. Happy new day to everybody. Welcome in the room. Come on and join us. It's a brand new day for Thriving Lessons with Dr. G. So, you may be joining us from any of our platforms, and I'm going to show you in a second. We are streaming live on Facebook, multiple pages. We are also on Four Star Radio and TV right now. So please, wherever you are very welcome. Thank you for those who are also joining from LinkedIn, and we will be on YouTube at Thriving Generation with Dr. G. Take a moment to settle in. I'm also going to take a moment to check on the platforms just to make sure that we are live. Technology don't always have control, so we have to make sure that it's working. So in 2 seconds, okay, 2 seconds is too small. In 20 seconds, please go ahead and share the link with your friends, with your loved ones on all your platforms. Let people know that we are live. They can join us and let's have some thriving lessons together. Let's see. I don't see it live on any of the platforms. Hey, oh yeah, trouble don't come on. Let's see. All right, if you can hear me, just say hello. Okay, Isaac is here. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you for joining. Um, Wherever you are, please go ahead, like the video, share the video, let people join us. Oh, beautiful. Okay, it's reflecting now. Thank you so much, Facebook folks. So I can see Facebook, but if you're on LinkedIn, you cannot see Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the link and share with my people like we've started. Come on, join us in the room. Come on, join us in the room. Isaac, can you hear me okay? Wonderful. So we'll go ahead and get started. I am so excited about today. It's a beautiful day, and we have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful lesson coming our way. We have started a new series. We are talking about financial literacy. It's about our financial wellness, it's about our health and well being. We have learned in the past that being healthy is not just about the physical body. We need to be healthy in several dimensions of our lives. So we took our time to talk about holistic health and wellness. We explored the different dimensions: physical wellness, emotional wellness, occupational wellness, intellectual wellness, social wellness. And then what happened? We even talked about financial wellness, environmental wellness. So financial wellness is what we are exploring some more. And as thriving friends, we don't just want to work for many, many years of our lives. And then at the end of the years, we don't have anything to show for it. So we are learning how to make money, how to grow money, and how to save money. And then we have to spend too. So remember me when we get there, we have to spend. All right, beautiful. Thank you, Isaac. So I will just go ahead and get started as we still wait for thriving friends to join on the various platforms. We are talking about investment opportunities for beginners, some of the things we have to look out for. And I have a wonderful friend joining us. So if you have questions, you can post them ahead of time. I'm using one screen today, but I can go back and forth, I believe. Since I'm not the one talking, I won't get confused. So I'm gonna go ahead and invite our guest in today. Hi, Doc.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you perfectly. Thank you so much for making time for us today. Yeah,
Nice.
grateful. We want to be rich, so it's good you are here to teach us. I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself to the thriving friends. We know that you are doing some awesome things out there, and we just don't want to limit you to one place, which is the Diaspora Careers and Investments, or we don't want to limit you to your profession, which is lecturing. So go ahead and introduce yourself however best you want the thriving friends to know you, and then we'll continue from there.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be on this platform to share with your thriving friends. My name is Shadrach, Dr. Shadrach Dare. I mean, for official purposes. I live in Scotland and, been here for the past 10 years. But my real passion is to share, information about financial literacy with friends in the diaspora, as well as even, back home. So I run well, the Facebook and then the YouTube, page known as Diaspora Careers and Investments. So as the name goes, where I share information about, career advancements and, investment opportunities because we've moved, to our various countries. We've moved from our various countries into the diaspora to thrive. So, however best we can do that, I share the little information that I know, and it's been a blessing to many people. And I guess, it was through that I got to know about your channel, and so, it's a pleasure to be here to share with everyone. Yeah,
Yeah, that's amazing. Yes, it's through that channel, and you have a lot of great resources out there. I would encourage everybody to just check it out. Go to Facebook, just type in the Diaspora Careers and Investment. And I first I've heard of I was going to go deep and start talking about questions. I've heard of several investment opportunities, but it's in the broad online platform. But sometimes hearing you explain some of these things and how they work for you, it just blows my mind. It simplifies it for me. So I love your channel. I
thank you.
subscribed right away, and I'll encourage everybody to please go ahead and check that out. At some point, we'll put the link also in the comments. If you have it, you can go ahead and put it in as other friends join us. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, dog. So I wanted to share this. Is there anything you want to say about the slide, dog?
Well, I mean, I should have mentioned that. I mean, I originally trained as a nurse,
Mm,
and since from there, moved on to do public health. So I have absolute no degree in finance whatsoever. So one could say that it's even misleading for anyone to try to get financial advice from me. So these disclaimers are to just to help us be on the same page that I'm no expert in finance or licensed to give professional advice. But I believe that that is also why you want to listen to this conversation because I was often put off by comments by accountants, suit wearing, tie wearing, speaking big grammar, so these are things that I have learned, and I think you mentioned it that my explanations are often from a lay perspective. So you don't need a degree in accounting or whatever to understand what I say. But if somebody like Shadrach, a nurse, turned lecturer, is able to understand investments and all of that, then
mm,
perhaps it's something that maybe your maths is even better than mine. You can even also understand. So it is actually from that point of reference that I want us to have this conversation rather than, oh, I spoke to this expert. No, I'm not really an expert.
mm,
Um, I've learned and I've tried. And so these are things based on my experience, on what I have heard and known other people do. And whenever if you ask me a question and I have not done it before, I'll tell you that I know somebody who's done it or I've heard of it. But if I've done it, then I'll let you know that this is something I do and I understand. So hopefully, that is a good perspective to come from.
yeah.
That would also bless your audience.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that because yes, you are not the only one who gets turned off by some of these things from investors. You like, what is your part in it? What are you going to get from it? Why are you telling me that? But
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
can hear that other friends can also learn and thrive or improve, then you know that it's
absolutely.
not so far from you.
Absolutely.
So let's just go ahead and get started. How long have you been exploring financial related information and have you been improving your own literacy?
Absolutely. Um, I've, all right, maybe this is not a platform to share this, but um, like I said, I mean, I'm an artist. I really did not know much about finance and really did not care about it. But then moving into the West, the UK to be precise, I realized that there's a vast disconnect between, the financial environment we have
Mhm,
back in Ghana or even back home, and then what is over here. And let me just fast forward the whole story. So I had to get interested in understanding the system. I went to a bank to go for a loan,
okay.
and I was denied the loan. And it didn't make
Okay.
sense to me because I don't owe anybody. I
Okay.
have good savings, But then they told me I don't have good credit score. So it appeared that I needed to have some, debts in order to
Yeah.
demonstrate that I'm credit worthy. So that's how it got started, and I got interested in studying it. And I've absolutely enjoyed the journey, because come to think of it, whether you were a plumber, a mason, a joiner, a nurse, a professor, the only common thing we share in our salary is that we are all paid in currency, whether dollars, cedis, pounds, euros, whatever. Everybody is paid some currency.
Yeah.
As to how you manage that is what makes the difference between two professors, two carpenters, two joiners, two masons. So then it's obvious that even for two nurses, all things being the same, one can be wealthy than the other because of how they used their resource or how they managed their money. Being a Christian, I read a story also of the man, the king who went on a journey and gave his servants talents, and
Mm-hmm.
some were able to multiply theirs, and some could not multiply theirs. And then he took the one who couldn't multiply theirs, and then gave it to the one who could multiply theirs. Anyway, if you read the Bible to that part, you would know that how you manage your resources,
Yeah.
actually plays a huge role and can make a huge difference. So in short, hustling. It was just, hustling to understand.
Hustling. Huh?
Yeah.
It's 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 great to learn, really. And I also grew up thinking that the best way to live is to not owe anybody. Just you need something, pay for it and go. But to come to a new place where you need to owe, if you also
Mhm.
don't take care, you realize that you are owing all the time. It's always good to learn. Tell me about this slide. What is this?
Oh, so this is meant to be my introduction slide. Before I actually came to this, I got a good email and I got another one about
Okay.
somebody who said they want to invest billions of dollars. They want me to help me invest billions of dollars
Mm.
because apparently the second wife of Gaddafi, inherited some millions. I like the sarcasm which you already demonstrated. And when people think of hear about investment, often that is the first thing that comes to their mind that it's a scam. There's no truth to it because
Mhm.
of these things that we often hear and often these emails that we get. So it is important that you decipher, or be able to discern, what is, genuine from what is not. So
Yeah.
obviously this is, a scam, so this is not the investment opportunity I'm going to share with you today. I'll share with you how to understand, some basic, investments things and then how to get into it. Yeah.
It is very, very interesting that you brought this up. Please look out for somebody also tried to scam me, but through Zelle. You have
Wow.
to really, really watch out. Like they are looking for people interested in some of these things, and they'll just use you up.
Yeah.
So who is this lovely guy on our screen?
This man is known as Warren Buffett. So those of you in the US would know him. You live close to him.
Yeah.
You are he's your next door neighbor. So Buffett is known, in fact, in the Forbes richest people in the world latest, the update. He is the fifth richest person at the moment. And Buffett has been rich for a very, very long time. He's actually Bill Gates' mentor.
Mm,
Um, and Buffett is a very known investor. So I guess when people think of investment, they are thinking of Buffett. But Buffett has got an investment background. He's got a business background. So
yeah.
I guess people could see why. But then show me the next slide where we show somebody who you would not think very much of when it comes to investment. Good,
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal, but
Yeah.
apart from being a great basketball legend, he's also a great investor.
Mm,
Who invested heavily in Google and has made a lot of money from
mm,
it. So it shows the both in terms of ethnicities, that investing is not just for the coat wearing white Caucasian man,
yeah.
but it's also for all educated to the Buffett level. But even for a basketball fan, legend,
Mm,
like Shaquille O'Neal, black guy, bald head, so relatively younger. So it's
yeah.
just the divide, that it ranges from Shaquille O'Neal to Warren Buffett, from
Yeah.
from Shadrach to Dr. G, that
Yeah.
lacuna.
Tell them, we are coming. No.
Dear.
It's funny you brought Shaq up. I heard that somebody approached him many, many years ago to start Starbucks in
Oh dear,
certain
yeah,
area. He was like, "Oh, black people don't drink Starbucks," and he
yeah,
passed that opportunity, and now he regrets so much.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I am almost always at Starbucks, not necessarily for the drinks, but for the space. It's one space
Mm,
you can go and sit and get work done. Nobody will disturb you, nobody will
mm,
approach you. It's such a welcoming space. Hey, I'm doing adverts for Starbucks. But it's true. I've been
yeah,
using Starbucks spaces for many, many years since I came to the United States like 10 years ago through school. That is the one place outside of the library that I know I can go and sit. So at least when you go, you buy something, right, to sit.
mm,
So
mm,
yes, black people drink Starbucks. So sorry,
yeah.
Shaq. Anyway, don't take us through some of the investment opportunities for beginners. Some of us are listening to you. We don't know where to start from. Can you help us out?
Yeah, so I guess the idea is what then is investment. Investment is putting money aside, with the hope that it will grow um, to become bigger. So putting money into an asset that would appreciate. And I mean, I'll try to not, use too much financial terms, but I'll try also not to dumb it down so much, given that people may already have some literacy level. So it all comes back to buying and selling. You see, my mom sells tomatoes and pepper and stuff in the house, so I understand this a bit more. When she goes to the market, she buys the item for, say, £5, and then when she brings it home to sell, she retails it at maybe £6.
Mm-hmm.
So for each item she sells, she make an extra pound on it.
Yeah.
And that is the idea for investment. You want to, buy something cheap and then sell it high. But
Mm,
even more, there are some things, that if you hold it for a long time, you can sell it higher. And so it could include, several things like, I think I got that on the next two slides.
yeah.
Um, Next slide. So, so it could be in the form of, real estate. We know that the value of properties keep rising. So, assuming you were able to buy a property today and you have to sell it in 10 years' time, you know that the value would, go up, and so you get more on your money. It could even be other commodities. I know people who buy gold, who buy oil, who buy silver. My mom buys corn, and she buys corn cheap from cheaper places. She keeps it for a while, and then when corn becomes scarce, she sells it at a higher price. So that's something people can do. But in the investment world, the items, the commodities, the assets that you
Hmm.
can hold, it's not just corn or gold or oil. It could also be real estate. It could also be even be holding a share in somebody's company. You can start a company, or you could give your money to somebody that take this money and add it to your business. When it
Yeah.
becomes profitable, then you pay me some of the interest. Or when you sell your company, then you pay me, the profits that the company has made. So I guess that leads us, stocks and shares, where
Yeah.
you hold a share in a company, because let's face it, not all of us have got the time to start our own companies or
Yeah.
have even got the knowledge to start our own companies. But you can actually give your money to somebody. Well, I once tried giving my money to a friend to run a business. And,
I mean,
uh,
I'm calculating it in my head. Like, hey,
let's skip this slide.
okay.
It's the rest is the rest is history.
I
So
just say,
this was to help people. Why do you think people don't invest if it is that great, a way to multiply your money or your resources? Why are people not investing?
mm,
And I guess, some of the common reasons are that people feel, it's too complicated, it's risky, I'm not qualified, life is too short. Why do I even invest?
yeah,
I should just enjoy it. I don't have enough money,
yeah,
and people think that investing for 5 years, that's too long. They want, quick money, like, the email from Gaddafi's second wife, so people have several reasons why they do not invest. I
okay,
hope, people can use the comment section to let us know why they do not
yeah,
invest, and then we can, try to demystify some of those.
yeah,
Um, but I guess if we are to tackle some of the common ones,
mm-hmm,
investing is a moral thing to do. The Bible says, or the good book says that, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children.
Yes.
And that for me, it doesn't say that a good man leaves an inheritance for their children, but even their children's children. So
Yeah.
two generations afterwards. I
Mm,
mean, I guess if you are looking for any higher reason to invest, then this is one reason for you to leave something for your children as well as even their children's children. But for me, I invest because let's face it, I mean, I'm a migrant here in the UK. I plan to forget being a migrant. Whatever you are working, sometimes you want to take annual leave of 2 weeks and you are told, oh no, Shadrach, this is not a good time. The semester is too hot for you to take annual leave. Sometimes I want to visit Ghana to go see my mom for 2 weeks just to, see how she's doing. And you are told you can't go at this time,
you
you have to
can
go at that time.
go.
So so for me it is the liberty, the freedom to be able to take time off so that if I have enough, if how much am I being paid a month, say
Yeah.
$1,000 or 1,000, let's say even £2,000, if I've got an investment that can pay me that amount per month, then it literally means that I don't necessarily have to be tied to a job. And this is possible, and there are other higher reasons. If you want to say, ideally, in my ideal world, I want to go to my village to teach children there how to read, how to write. But I cannot do that because that job will not pay me enough to
Yep.
take care of my needs. But if I have my own income sources, if I have an investment that is paying me, $2,000 or $3,000 a month, then who cares whether I'm paid, down in Uganda or in Africa? I could go there to do anything.
Yeah.
I spoke to this couple who are thinking of starting a church,
Mm,
and they are able to start a church now because they've got income that pays them enough to take care of themselves,
yeah.
so that they are starting a church because they love the Lord and want to do more of His work, not because a church is good business. They
Mm,
really don't care whether they make money from it or not. And then they understand that starting a church is going to take a long time before it starts even making money. But
mm,
they are able to do the things they love, pursue the dreams they have always dreamt of, because they have investments that is paying them enough, to do the things that they are doing. So I guess in simple terms, is to be financially free, to
yeah.
own my time, to free some of my time, you know, and to be happy. I mean, there are those who say that riches doesn't make you happy, but if you've got up to a particular amount, it can help, you know.
Make me happy. Make me rich. I'll be happy. Very, very happy.
Yeah,
Tell me
yeah.
about this image with two nice gentlemen standing there.
I mean, I guess if you were to ask the typical person from our village or from my village who they think between these two people who is rich, um, one wearing the $65 watch, the $400 shoe, and all of that.
Yeah.
Um, when people are investing, they think some people think that the guy on the left is the aspiration. If you
Okay.
can reach there, that's fine. But it is simply to show that wealth is not what you wear on yourself.
Okay.
Wealth is actually the asset you hold. See this guy, Zuckerberg, the Facebook guy. For a long time, he was always wearing,
Shorts and black shirt. That simple T-shirt. Yeah.
or even the Bezos guy. They are often not wearing anything too complicated, and but they hold, millions in assets and all of that. Even Elon Musk, our cousin from
Yeah.
South Africa,
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
got,
he's your cousin there. Okay, I didn't know that.
oh, I get it. I mean,
I've seen the people in
uh,
your family. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Um,
that's amazing. That's actually really good. Talk to us about some of the strategies. Hey, look at how the time is going.
yeah, yeah. We need to just kill it, and yeah. So, in terms of, there are so many things you can invest in. Like I've said,
Mm,
you know, there are people who invest in gold, oil, stocks, and shares, and all of that. But what investment strategy you adopt or what you choose to invest in depends on a few things. How
mm,
soon do you want your money? And how much do you have to invest, I guess. But for me, mostly is, yeah, these two things. How much do you have to invest and how long do you want to invest it for? or even the purpose for which you are investing can also dictate where you invest your money in. If I'm investing for a holiday in the next half year, in the next 6 months, where I put the money for that will be different from where I'm investing my pension, which will obviously be for the next, 30 years, or, assuming that I'm 30,
Mhm.
without,
Mhm.
without giving so
Mhm.
much of myself out there. So
Oh, no worries.
this influences, where or what items or what assets that you buy. And I'll just jump straight into to talk about a few things people can invest in. The first thing, obviously, you want to invest in is in yourself. There's this analogy given of the golden egg. If you have a poultry farm and you've got a chicken, that all the chickens are laying brown eggs and white eggs, but you've got one particular chicken, that lays a golden egg, for which when you sell, it's gold. What do you think is your greatest asset in that poultry farm? Let me kill it. It's not the egg, it is the chicken that is
The
laying that
chicken.
egg. You are your greatest investment.
Mm,
You have the highest earning potential for yourself. So above all things, you want to invest in yourself. And joining this, conversation, listening to Dr. G, or even subscribing to my YouTube channel, all of these are ways by which you can, equip
yeah.
yourself. And G, let me say this. I have learned that true investing in yourself is not actually what we often learn in university. It is
Okay.
actually the things that you take the pain to actually pursue, to
Okay.
study. So that, I mean, we studied till a PhD level. In none of the classes that I took was I taught how to manage your money and how to do any of that. I don't know whether you learned that in university, you
Please
know.
no.
Yeah. But I did not learn that. But it is after university, when I've got the literacy skills to read, to be critical, to understand what I'm reading, that I actually invested in buying the right books, like whether Richest Man in Babylon, The Psychology of Money, Rich Dad Poor Dad. It is when I started reading these books that, my mind opened to understanding money. Because money in itself is a subject that ought to be studied. So the point here is this, that you need to invest in yourself, and it includes gaining financial literacy as well as gaining, high paying skills. If you feel your job doesn't pay well enough, get another job or get another, skill that would, help you to earn more. So invest in yourself, and those are, there are several things you can study. I've got here, whether coding, data analysis, project management. Start a YouTube channel, start a side hustle, invest in yourself, do something that would help you earn, an extra income. um all right, that said, one of the things, or one of the assets, or one of the commodities you can invest in is what is known as stocks and shares.
Okay.
Stocks and shares. And stocks and shares simply refers to somebody, you don't want to start your own business. Somebody has already started their business and you want to give them some money so that they put in their business. And there are thriving companies like Apple, Google, YouTube. YouTube is owned by Google anyway. Um, Tesla, there are companies that are doing well already and they're making profits. So sometimes you just need to align yourself with a thriving company, you know, partnering with them rather than starting your own company, which can be great if you've got a viable idea and you're going to make profits. Fantastic. But otherwise, you can actually invest in some of these established companies, and then whenever they make profits, they pay you dividends.
Yeah.
And also, when the company does well and they sell it, or you can even sell your share of the company, it sells at a higher price and you make profits. So essentially, it is owing a bit of a company.
Yeah.
And I was going to say this. I've got an Apple phone, I've got an Apple computer, you know, I've got a few products that I use all the time. Here in the UK, there's a coffee shop called Cafinero, like your Starbucks, I guess. Starbucks is a joke if you taste Cafinero, man. It's so good.
Really?
I'm biased, I know I'm biased.
Really?
I'm biased, I
Hey,
know I'm
that's my
biased.
people. Okay, we will
Yes.
gather. Don't worry.
But the point is, for me, for the things that I use, that I know that these are good stuff, the shops that I shop from,
Mhm,
apart from giving them money to make profits, I also invest in it so that if
mm,
Apple is making profits, The profit is shared to their shareholders. I'm
Mm,
also a shareholder, so I'm not just a consumer of Apple products. I'm a shareholder, so this is a company affair, and that is the mindset that the Bible says that you will be the head and not the tail. What does that
yeah,
mean? To be an owner, to be ownership is key to
yeah,
everything. If you want to build wealth, then you must own a product. If you don't own a product, it's going to take a very long time to, you need to own a product, and you don't necessarily have to have your own product. You can align yourself with somebody or a product, and by investing in it, you can make profits. And that's what Shaquille O'Neal did. When Google was starting in the beginning, they pitched the idea to him. He invested a lot of money, and now Google is, worth billions, and Google is worth trillions. What am I saying? It's worth trillions, you know.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
when he sells his share of, when he sells his share of Google, he's got bare money, and still
yeah,
the company is making profit, and they pay him dividends. So
yeah.
that is what you can do. But let me just interject there again. Sometimes knowing which company to invest in can be a tricky thing. So thank you for sharing that. That's my YouTube. I've got a video on, how to get into stocks and shares. And you should definitely look it up on my YouTube channel. Selecting which company to invest in can be tricky. So there is something called funds. A fund simply means a collection of companies. Because my money is only $100, you see. And so I don't know which, do I invest it in Apple, or do I invest it in Google, or do I invest it in Starbucks, or do I invest it? Choosing where to invest the money can be a difficult thing, especially when you don't have a lot of money like Shaquille O'Neal. So what you can do is to invest in what is known as funds. A
Yeah,
fund is simply a collection of companies, a collection of stocks. So then if you put $100 there, a bit of that money is invested in Gucci, a bit of it is invested in do you know who the richest man in the world at the moment is?
I do not.
It
It,
is he's the French guy, Arnold something something, the guy who owns the Versace brands and all those brands.
in fact, I'm going to Google. You
Yeah,
see what we use Google for.
yeah. So he's the richest guy at the moment. So it means that his company is doing well at the moment, but maybe you don't even know about it. So when you invest in funds, there are people, smarter people, for lack of a better word, who have put together these companies. So when you put your money in the funds, the money is spread across all these companies. So I invest in something called S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies in America.
Mm,
So if I put $100 there, a bit of it is invested in Google, a bit of it is invested in Apple, a bit of it is invested in Versace, a bit in Johnson and Johnson, a bit in oil and gas companies, a bit. So essentially, it is a smarter way of investing in so many places, a bit in Tesla, a bit here, a bit there. And that really helps. And it's really good for beginners, you see, because instead of putting your money in a company which may not do well, this is an easy way to put your money in a lot of companies. And chances are that they do better. They do better in the long term, than other selecting the individual companies.
yeah, Doc, how about investment and savings? Because, some people may wonder, why should I invest? Or if I save my money, won't I get the same kind of return?
So you shared the slide for the S&P 500 performance.
This
So no, there's another one, two slides back.
one. Uh-huh.
Yeah, this, yeah, yeah. So this would actually, ca- can I steal a minute?
Of
Give me a
course.
minute. Yeah.
Well, thriving friends, thank you for joining us. If you are now joining wherever you are joining us from, please, we are discussing financial literacy 101, and we are talking about investment opportunities for beginners. You may be an expert. If you're an expert, please go ahead and share some ideas with us. The rest of us, we are learning. We are still young and we are learning. So, Doc, you are back.
Yeah. So, um, so I was saying that that slide, what it shows is that if somebody had put $10,000 in, say, 10 years ago, and they were to take it out at the end of 10 years,
Okay.
This shows you how much it would have performed. You see, um, and the numbers work that investing it in the long term is a lot better than saving it, because I don't know how much you guys get in America, but here in the UK, the best rate in savings you can get now is about 4.5%. But
Mm.
that is because of the crazy times we are in. But hitherto,
Okay.
you were getting like 1% or 0.5%. But S&P 500 in the last few years have performed about 8% or even 6 to 8%. So
Okay.
that obviously is better than saving for 4% or something. Um,
Okay.
but in this environment, it depends on how soon do you need the money. For
Okay.
these stocks and shares, you
Mm-hmm.
have to do it for a long time before you get the benefit, because that's when it compounds. But
Mm.
when it comes to saving, that's usually for short term. So
Okay.
my rule of thumb is this: that if you don't mind keeping the money for 5 years or more, invest it. But if
Oh,
you think you will need the money sooner, then maybe you should consider saving. So if you are thinking of buying a house in 2 years, next year, save the money, because investments can go up and down, which you must remember. But we know from historical data that if you
mm-hmm.
keep it for the long time, it performs better. But
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have the patience to wait, then you want to save.
Mm.
But, and you can do both at the same time. You see, that's the beauty. So
Mm.
while I'm saving to buy a house, I'm also investing small, small on the side, on the side.
Yeah.
And
Doc, do you see the question on the screen?
um, would you? So the person is asking whether, given the current performance,
Yeah.
Reggie, if you can share the previous slide, I'll show you something.
Which one is that? The one on the stocks rising and
Yeah,
falling.
yeah,
Okay. There we go.
yeah. So what we see is that
So let me read the question so that those
mhm,
who are listening and watching can get the question. Said, based on your experience in the past years, would you recommend investing in stocks, given that many companies are reporting losses and laying off workers? I think this is a beautiful question, Isaac. Thank you.
so we can see the part about May 2020. That was when COVID happened.
Yeah.
It went down. You can see that. I don't know whether you've got something you can show people. Whether is there a way you can highlight that part or something?
Please, my technology lesson hasn't gotten to that point.
All right.
I-
So we know that stock prices go up and down,
yeah.
but in the long term, we can see that it looks like it's rising. It's rising in the long time. There are ups and downs,
Yeah.
So this may be a down moment. So
Yeah.
what do I do? I guess there are two strategies. There are those who say that they are waiting for the stock prices to drop now. So
Mm,
now that if stock prices are low, they buy a lot more.
okay.
Because can you imagine? My mom sells, corn. So if every time she's buying the corn for say $10, or $100 per bag, and now it's selling for $80 per bag, this is the time to buy a lot more because it's
Yeah.
cheaper. So
Mm-hmm.
that when the prices come back to normal, you sell and you make a lot more profit.
I see.
So there are those who are now capitalizing on the time now. But we know that it will rise again. The value will come back up. So you keep it, and when it comes back up, you sell and you make your profit. Likewise for stocks, now that it's low, you buy and then you sell when it's high.
Mm,
But there's also what is known as dollar cost averaging. Maybe you are not as smart as other people, to know when our price is low or would it go
yeah.
lower again? What
Yeah.
is the best time to buy? I really don't bother my head with all of that. No
Yeah.
matter what, I buy my $100, $200, $1,000. I just buy. When it's up, I buy. When it's low, I buy. Because I know that I'm not selling tomorrow. I'm selling in 10 years' time. So
Yeah.
no matter how much I bought it today, in 10 years' time when I'm selling, it will sell more than I've bought it today. So there are two strategies, what is known as time in the market and then timing the market. There are those who are just waiting for time in the market. They are selling in 5 years, in 10 years. So they don't care what the price is today. They just buy because they know that in 5 years, the price will be higher. And there are those who are timing the market. These are the smarter guys who are waiting. When the price goes low, they buy. and then
Mm,
when it comes up, they sell.
mm,
You can be lucky with that. But if you're not lucky, the price will go low and it will go low again. And
mm,
because
mm.
you are in a hurry, you can't wait for the price to come up and then you sell lower than you bought, and then you would have lost. So
Lost.
you only, in fact, he stock this, you don't lose until you sell. You see,
Mm,
you've not lost. If you bought it today for 100 and tomorrow you're selling for 80, you've not lost. You are selling the gain. You only lose when you sell lower than you bought it.
okay.
So, I mean,
Okay, makes sense. But I'm pretty sure there are some people going like, "Ah, this is blowing my mind. I'm not ready for stock market investment and all that." So I see that you have some other ideas to share with us, and I can't believe it's already 40th minute. So we gotta be wrapping up soon.
mhm. So these are other side. In fact, I would encourage people to go to my YouTube channel. There are so many ideas I've shared there. Diaspora Careers Investments. Do subscribe and do let me know if you've come from Dr. G's channel. Let me know that you've come from there. So there are you can only invest money that you have. So that previous slide was just to help people know which other ideas they can invest in, and people depend on your environment. I mean, I do a bit of property investment, because I live in a university community. So if you have a place you rent out, you can make some profits. So that can be good. But if you also have internet wherever you are and you're watching us, it means you can start a blog. Maybe you're passionate about something, passionate about weaving, passionate about something. You can start a podcast, a blog, a YouTube channel. You can even buy a vending machine. This morning, a friend was telling me of a colleague who is into vending machines, and gee, I did not know about that.
Yeah,
But man, it looks like he's making bare money in that. What
yeah.
does he do? He doesn't even do. He just buys the vending machine. It's installed at the train stations,
Okay.
and every time you buy water, he gets his profit. When you buy Coca-Cola, he gets his
Mm,
profit.
mm,
That's all he does. And he's installed a few of them, and it's making good money. You see,
yeah,
so there are several ideas you can do. I mean, if you have knowledge, that you want to share, you can do
yeah.
consulting, and these are really good ideas out there. Um,
Yeah, and then the people in Ghana, other African countries don't feel like you have to have dollars to be able to do something.
um,
People are skilled. People are drawing. I'm paying so much for illustration because somebody's skilled at that. And getting book illustrated is not cheap. Oh, it's not cheap at all, dog.
mhm.
Yeah, but so what can you do? What can you do? What skill do you have? Can you talk? If you can talk, can you look for opportunities that are related to talking?
I sometimes do MC, and I charge sometimes to be an MC for people.
Oh, see, oh, I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Hey, I see. Well, can you think of any other ideas, people who may not have money to start investing in or to just start a business?
And gee, see, I have sold I used to have like three bicycles. I sold two of them. You
Okay.
can start from, you have, if I have a cloth or shoe that I've not worn in, my time lifespan is one year. If I've not worn it in a year, it means I don't need it. I
Hey,
sell it.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah,
Okay.
I sell it on Facebook Marketplace. And there are some people I live with who can't find their shoes because I've sold them. Because sometimes if this video puts me in trouble because they'll find out that all the things they can't find has been sold.
Okay.
I mean, I remember when I moved in with my wife, I had my own stuff and then she had her stuff. But when we came together, we have like three chopping boards, we have two ladles, we have seven knives. What do we do with that? Just put them
Yeah.
all on Facebook Marketplace, sell
Okay.
the ones we don't need. And some of them we gift it, sometimes we sell it. And those are ways you can generate money. And once you have that money, you can save it somewhere, you can invest it somewhere. There are times, I've asked friends, that, oh, Charlie, I've got some time. What do you need done? You're painting. If I can help you paint, just pay for my lunch or something. There are so many things you can commercialize. Any skill that you have, you
Mm,
know. I've got friends who help me design a flyer. They charge me for it and I pay them for it. And when they come, Shadrach, can you proofread my dissertation for me? I'm like, well, it will cost me maybe to take me like 3 hours to do this.
mm,
You have to pay me for half of my time.
mm.
And they pay. pay me £20, £30. And I mean,
Hey.
I guess, of course, there are those you can do for free, but
Yeah.
there are those, I
Yeah.
mean, that who will pay you for your service also.
Yeah.
And we must learn to commercialize our skill. If
Yeah.
you are confident that the service you are delivering is worth it, people will pay
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will pay for really good food if I can get somebody who can cook some of the traditional Ghanaian meals and I don't have to spend that 5 hours cooking. I will pay
There you
for
go.
it any
So
day,
there you go.
anytime. And then I'll use the time for something else.
I've
So
actually
we
paid
talk-
someone to make me a Tanzanian meal because, I tried some, ugali and,
I
some
like
food and
it.
I liked it, but I don't want to go buy the whole flour of ugali to come and out. I just want to eat it once. So
Yeah.
I had a friend that was like, I'll pay you to cook it for me. And then, so
Yeah.
these are things we can do.
Yeah, and I also pay for my hair to be done. I've tried several nail salons that I don't like. If I found somebody I love out, there are several things we are willing to pay money for. Just
Mm.
think about what you have and what you can do. Babysitting. Right now you just gave me a wonderful idea. My husband has shoes that I can sell, so I hope he's not watching. When the shoes go missing, he should check Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace. I'm not
Yeah.
selling mine. I'm selling only his. Wonderful. Do
Yeah.
you have final ideas to share with us? We are on the 46th minutes. I see so many thriving friends joining from Facebook, from YouTube. Uncle Sam, thank you so much for joining. Isaac, Frederick. When you join from LinkedIn, I can see, but from Facebook, if I'm using the computer, I can see exactly who. So I know you are there. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. We are talking about financial literacy. This is just one of the many, many, many series we are bringing your way. So please, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, I don't know what you are waiting for, but kindly go to Thriving Generation with Dr. G and subscribe. Also, consider going on YouTube right now to subscribe to Dr. Shadrach's channel, Diaspora Careers and Investment. I learn a lot from that channel. There are very few channels that I subscribe to. Okay, I will watch some things, one, two here and there, but this is one of the things that I really, really subscribe to. So I recommend. Doc was going to share some final ideas or words or encouragement because he's on the lead, becoming rich, and we are following. So please.
Inshallah.
Hey, what's me
No,
that we know.
no. So I was just gonna say that thanks for this opportunity, and for friends who want to start this journey, I strongly encourage you to. It may be scary to begin with, but once you start, you are good. You can start with $50, $20. Start investing and you only get better by doing. I wish I knew this a lot, longer. And that's why my YouTube channel is there. G is also sharing these things. Do get some knowledge and then do start. I've got a step-by-step guide on my YouTube channel, which will guide you as to which platform to use, how to start it, and these would really help you. So thank you very much, G, for the opportunity. And I look forward to, making new friends and new subscribers from the American continent. And yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
please, I see that you like his ideas, so go and subscribe.
yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you very much. And I guess is that me done or
Oh, you can hold on for a second. I
uh,
mean, we have to leave live streaming because we are thriving friends who work and it's a working day. So people have to get to their other jobs. But if you have questions, please, you can go ahead and post it here, or you can go on his YouTube channel. You can reach out to him directly depending on what you need. I do appreciate you. I like your ideas. I have been watching your videos. I just saw the recent. I probably that may not be the most recent, but you said you need debt, but and then you did an excellent job talking about balancing your debt and your credit. That is
mhm.
beautiful. So please, if you live anywhere you are considering improving on your financial literacy, start from there and then continue to build on it. As always, I do appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining. If you have further questions, please post them and do share. If you don't share, other thriving friends wouldn't know that we are learning awesome things. We are going to be rich, right? We are going to thrive, but we don't want to be the only people up there. and then looking down on everybody, and they are requesting for all kinds of things from us. We want to thrive together. We want to go with them. So share, like the video, share the video, invite other people to also learn with us. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you same time next week.